GitHub Actions. Once upon a time, in a cozy little kitchen, Cookie Monster was feeling very, very hungry. And when Cookie Monster is hungry, there's only one thing on his mind: cookies. But making perfect cookies every time isn't easy. So today, we're going to help Cookie Monster learn about GitHub Actions, a tool that helps automate steps just like following a recipe. Cookie Monster's craving for cookies is what starts everything. In GitHub Actions, this is called an event. An event is something that happens, like pushing new code, that triggers everything to start. Just like when Cookie Monster gets hungry, it's time to make cookies. To make sure his cookies turn out just right, Cookie Monster needs to follow a recipe. This recipe is like a workflow file in GitHub Actions. It's a set of instructions that tells us exactly what to do, step by step, to make sure everything goes smoothly. With his recipe ready, Cookie Monster starts gathering all the ingredients: flour, sugar, butter, and chocolate chips. This part is like when a workflow run starts in GitHub Actions. Once the event triggers, it's time to collect everything needed to start working. Before Cookie Monster can start baking, he needs to preheat the oven. This is an important step in the process. In GitHub Actions, steps are the small tasks that need to happen one by one to prepare everything properly. Next, Cookie Monster mixes all the ingredients together to make cookie dough. This mixing process is like an action in GitHub Actions. Actions are specific tasks that do something important, like running tests or building the code. After mixing, Cookie Monster shapes the dough into little balls and places them on the baking sheet. This is another step in the process, making sure each cookie is ready for the oven. Just like in GitHub Actions, where steps prepare the code for the next stage. Now it's time to bake the cookies. This part of the process is called a job in GitHub Actions. A job is a series of steps that work together to achieve something important, like baking the cookies to perfection, or in coding, making sure the program runs correctly. Cookie Monster can choose to bake his cookies in a big bakery oven, or his own oven at home. In GitHub Actions, this is like choosing between a GitHub-hosted runner or a self-hosted runner. A GitHub-hosted runner is like using a big, ready-to-go oven provided by GitHub, while a self-hosted runner is like using your own oven that you control. When the cookies are done baking, Cookie Monster lets them cool and then packs them into jars. These cookies are his artifacts, the final result of all his hard work. In GitHub Actions, artifacts are the output files or results that come from running a job, like finished cookies. At last, Cookie Monster gets to enjoy his cookies. Every time he follows the recipe from start to finish, it's like a successful workflow run in GitHub Actions. When everything works together perfectly, the final product is ready to enjoy, whether it's cookies or code. Let us put all together. When Cookie Monster wants cookies, he pulls out his recipe. This is like a workflow file in GitHub Actions, containing all the steps. Cookie Monster's craving is the event that triggers the workflow. Once craving for cookies happens, he begins the process. This is the workflow run. He starts by baking cookies. Within that job, there are steps, like mixing ingredients and preheating the oven. Tasks needed to bake those delicious cookies. Each step includes actions, like actually mixing the dough, which are the specific tasks being performed. The jobs can be performed using ready-made runners or self-owned ones. In the case of cookie making, oven can be self-owned or renting a community oven. Finally, when everything is done, the baked cookies are the artifacts, the finished product of all the hard work. Thank you for watching this video.